This is a Benchmade 9050, that's 9050 Armed Forces model in combo edge. And actually, this is my issue knife from my military unit. My military unit did a unit buy on this knife and gave it to all the members of the unit for duty use. It's a good knife, strong, really strong knife. However, it does have some very big drawbacks, which I'm going to talk about. First off, this is an NSN knife, and in the United States what that means is the manufacturer has submitted certain knives for military approval to become part of the military stocking system, national stock number. Therefore, a military unit like mine can use that NSN number, this one is from Benchmade of course, and order the knife for military members through the normal military channels. That's pretty cool. The downside to that is you lose flexibility. You lose flexibility on getting the knife you might really want, because there's not that many auto knives that have an NSN number on them. In fact, I think Benchmade's the only one that's got it. There's just a couple. But that being said, this is a very strong knife. It's an automatic knife too. So everything that I've said in my other videos about automatic knives will apply here again. Let me talk about the good points of the 9050 first, and that is its strength, number one, and handle size, because it's a very comfortable handle when it is deployed. It has a nice choil indentation for the index finger, kind of a small thumb ramp right here, no jimping. However, the semi-matte or matte finished 7000 series aluminum handles, which are very strong and very thick, provide a good purchase, i.e. traction, so it's a good handle material. It's not too chalky, just right. The real chalky one is that Auto Striker that I have that I'll review in the future. So the handle's comfortable, that's a good point. The slabs are very thick on the handle, and that means they have a lot of reinforcement to prevent any blade torque. So as far as folding auto, I should say, autos go, it's a pretty strong knife. At least I would think it would be. I haven't put it to hard use. Some of my other military members in my unit have, and they've had good reports. About a 3.5 inch blade made out of 154 cm steel. That's a good steel. I won't talk too much about it here. BT coated by Benchmade, that's fine too. As you can see, this is the combo edge, and I'm not a huge fan of the combo edge in most knives. You will see that I have several, and we'll review several that have that. And it's not a showstopper for me. I just prefer a plain edge. If I'm going to go with a serration, like I've said in other videos, excuse me, then I want a full serration, because the movement back and forth makes that serration really cut well and aggressively. However, if I just have maybe a 1.5 inch run of serrated teeth like I do here on the 9050, it's less effective. Now, that being said, if I take some rope, of course I can cut the rope in that run of serrations, as long as they're sharp. Now, the reason I think they went with the serrated model in this 9050 Armed Forces, and I'm talking they being the military making an NS number for this. And by the way, the NS number that is for Benchmade is for this combo edge version only, not the plain edge. And I think they did that because their thinking is in a very tough combat environment where this blade's getting a lot of use, this plain edge portion probably would go dull, and the soldier and or airman would at least have the serrated portion that would always be sharp, or at least more sharp, because those serrations do keep their sharpness longer. So I think that's the thinking, is that at least they'll have some type of blade there at the base to do it. But that being said, I think it may be a good thought, but in practicality they would have been a lot better off with a straight edge. It's not hard to teach soldiers how to sharpen their knives, at least to put a good utility edge on it. And they're going to do it anyhow. They're already packing their M9 bayonets and their Marine combat knives. It's no big deal to have them sharpen a tactical folding knife as well. I like the blade shape. It's a very nice blade shape. Nice unsharpened swage on the top. Good clip design. Very effective for daily use. And also maybe some tactical rolls as well. And again, good steel. So that's all good. The lockup is good. Now there is a little tiny movement in mine. That's because I haven't dinked with my pivot screw yet. because I haven't carried this much, just a couple times. I have carried knives just like it, and I've seen my buddies carrying it in the unit, and I'll tell you what they say too. And what they say is it's just too big and it's too bulky, getting into the negatives of the 9050. It's 5.2 ounces, and it's bulky. The handle, that comfortable handle, is comfortable. However, when we're carrying it, which is going to be most of the time, it's rather thick. You can see the thickness of those aluminum scales, our handle. It's just thick. And then add to it a poorly placed clip. Now the clip itself is excellent. It's a typical Benchmade clip placed in a bad position. Now the clip, again, hardened stainless steel, blackened, great job on that. All Benchmade clips pretty much are nice, but they mounted this way too low on the handle. It really should have been mounted up here, and then also maybe redesigned to follow the curvature of the handle. And there's several models out there that have done that, and it wouldn't have been breaking new ground to do it, and I really wish Benchmade would have done that. So it's not a great placement for the clip. The reason is you're going to have a good 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch of your knife sticking out of your pocket, whether it be a BDU, a flight suit, or on your LBE gear. Now granted, in combat use or under rigorous use of any kind, chances are we should be carrying this in a closed sheath of some sort, kind of like a single mag pouch that has a top that closes down on it, either with Fastex or Velcro, preferably Fastex. I understand that, and I've carried knives that way. However, the clip gets more use more often than not, and therefore it behooves us to design it well. Since in day-to-day use, generally, even in the armed forces, this knife is not going to be seen in combat. It's going to be seen in an EDC role by the troops and or airmen. So it's just too big. And most of the members in my unit say so, and most of them just leave it home. But at first it's pretty exciting for them to get one, because most of them never had a really high quality knife like this, or an automatic knife for that matter. So there's a lot of novelty in that. Speaking of auto, it does deploy very fast, just like all Benchmates do, relatively fast. But when a lot of the members in my unit got it, they were like really excited. But then as time went on, the months passed, year and a half passed, most of them will be seen not carrying it anymore, just because it's too big. And when you're thinking about something, whether it's a gun or a knife, when it's on your person, you're always thinking about it, you're touching it. What that's telling you is that it's just uncomfortable in carry, and pretty soon you're just going to leave it at home. And that's been my experience. I carried this a couple times and I was like, you know, this is too big for me. But then again, I'm a knife guy. I have a lot of experience. I have a lot to compare it to. But even those non-knife guys in my unit that have nothing to compare it to, even they thought it was too big, and they just don't carry it anymore. So that's the downside of the 9050. It's very bulky and it's on the heavy side. Now some of y'all might be watching this thinking, well, you know, 5.5 ounces, 6 ounces is no big deal for me because I'm not in the military. That's not the role I'm going to use it, and that's fine. I understand there's different ways to look at a knife, but my background is military, tactical, law enforcement. That's all my background, sprinkled in with my own civilian experiences. So that's kind of how I approach every review. And so that's my take on this knife. It is a very high quality and strong automatic knife. There's no doubt about it. The combo blade, some of you will really dig it. Not too bad. And I ain't complaining. I got this knife for free from my unit. It was an issued knife, so granted, I should shut my mouth and be happy. But if you're paying your own money for this knife, it's worthy of a review, and that's what I'm giving you. There would have been a lot better options in this knife, and it's really difficult to get something in the NSN system, i.e. part of the issues system. One of them would have been maybe the Microtech UDT or UMS model like this. I'll do a review on this later. It's lighter, fast, nice blade shape. Doesn't have the more pronounced choil and safety that comes with. Better pocket clip, rides lower. I have reviewed this one. This is a 2550 Mini Reflex. Outstanding auto by Benchmade. Much lighter at 2.5 ounces. Easier to carry. But I understand the thinking behind the 9050. They wanted an all-purpose, heavy-duty, tactical automatic knife that was rugged, could withstand any abuse. And the downside of that is just kind of a bigger, kind of a heavier knife. Has that ratcheting safety, by the way, which I really like, if you have to have a safety. So that's Armed Forces 9050. If you like it, buy it.